Hey friends, and welcome back to my art studio. So I have a really fun video planned for today, and I got the idea from Casey Golden. I'll link her video down below because I definitely just kind of stole this idea from her. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask you guys to give me 3 emojis, and then I'm going to create an image out of them. So this is going to be really fun, and I don't have like a lot of followers right now or anything, so I had to kind of go around the block to get some emojis, but that's okay because we got some and we made some cool images, so let's just get into it. So first of all, I'm going to be looking at my phone, but I'll put it like right here for you guys. First of all, I went to Instagram and I said, taking a page from Casey Golden's book, send me 3 emojis and I'll create a drawing with them. And then I put an example and then I left a little box. Now, on Instagram, I did this on my just Kristen and Brielle Instagram, and I also did it on my art Instagram. I did it on both because my regular one has way more, followers, and my art Instagram is just not like grown that much yet, so I just thought I would try both. But also on my regular one, I kept getting some that like weren't actually like ones. It was just like hi, random stuff, like no emojis basically. I got 2 actual ones. So the one that we're going to start with today is actually one that my husband sent me, which was Yeti the Great, and he sent me a ghost, the tie emoji, and a guitar. So we're going to create an image out of that. Okay, so I definitely started out sketching with this one because these emojis actually stumped me for a second. So I just pulled out my sketchbook and I started sketching, and at first I was like, maybe the ghost can be coming out of the guitar, maybe the ghost is playing the guitar, but then where do I put the tie? And I was like, maybe he can be wearing it on his head, or maybe it's just a man playing a guitar wearing a tie and there's just ghosts all around him. Or maybe it's a ghost playing a guitar, but the tie is the guitar strap. I don't know. I definitely had a million ideas for this one because it was hard, but I did pick one of those sketches. I definitely just kept this more in like my animal coloring book style because I thought that it would be so cute with like this ghost. I pulled out my phone and tried to draw the guitar emoji exactly how it is on the phone. Like I wanted it to really like be the same style of guitar and stuff. So that's why my phone is there. I'm just tracing it out. So I just took my fine liners and outlined everything. The emoji is so small that like all the little details of the guitar probably got lost, and I don't know if it looks exactly like these guitars are supposed to look, but I drew inspiration from the emojis, and that's the point, right? Coloring in the eyes is always one of the first things I do because I really feel like it gives the character the most like personality and makes it just seem more real. So coloring that in is always my favorite. So drawing inspiration from the emojis, I wanted to color in everything, the colors that the emojis actually are. So I made the guitar red, and then I made the tie like a gold and silver striped tie on his head, which is like exactly what the emoji looked like to begin with. And so I didn't actually put the collared shirt, but I thought since I got the tie inspiration from the emoji that it totally counted. Oh, this is just like a coaster I have that is shaped like a record, and I just use it to make a perfect circle in the background just to set it apart. And since I didn't use the button-up shirt in the background, I decided to color the background blue just to pull in that extra inspiration, and I used like a light gray to shade the ghost. And this is how it turned out. I think he's really cute. I think he's turned out a lot better than I thought he would. Drawing ghosts was actually kind of scary to me at first because there's so many different ways to draw it, but I think he's pretty cute. So since I only got 2 responses that were like actual responses on Instagram, I decided to go to Facebook and just comment because I knew like my friends and family would probably have a good time commenting emojis, and then they'd get to watch this video. So hello everyone, if you commented an emoji, thank you. So I got actually a lot, and I'm gonna like block out people's names just for safety reasons. I know that like anybody can comment or anybody can see this video, so I just want to like block out the last names and stuff just in case there's crazy people out there watching this. So I just say comment 3 emojis and I'll create a drawing using them. And so I actually got so many responses, so I kind of just picked the ones that gave me inspiration. And the first one that gave me inspiration was actually from Madison, and it was llama, sunflower, and watermelon. So we're going to create an image out of that. Alright, so the first thing I did for the llama was pull out the coloring book that I created where I drew all of these animals, and I wanted to just trace out the llama that I drew for the coloring book. So that's what I do. I just trace over the image that I already made, and I just thought this would be faster and easier than sitting there trying to like draw it exactly. I just kind of like cheated off of myself, if you will. And so then my idea was to draw this llama eating a watermelon with wearing like a flower crown of sunflowers. I erase so that I can like clearly see where the pen is going. If you don't erase your harsh pencil lines before you outline, sometimes you can't tell what you're outlining or if you're outlining in the right spot. So just like erasing and lightening that up makes it a lot easier. And also, since you have like the flowers in the front and the hair in the back, it's easier to just lighten it up so that you know exactly what's going where. And then I just color in all the black spots with my fine liner so that when I go in with my Who markers, they don't bleed. And then I took out all the colors I needed for the sunflowers, and I just focused on them, shading them out with the dark to the light and just making them look how they should. And even at this stage, I love this drawing. And with the watermelon, I got like a couple shades of pinkish red and a couple shades of green just to really like ombre and shade everything out. How cute is this llama? Like seriously, it is so precious. So since it is a flower crown, I wanted a ribbon to kind of like look like it's tying the flowers down into the hair. So that's what the little ribbon is hanging off of it, and I kind of like carried that pink behind it to make it look like it was tying the flowers in the hair. I also decided to make the llama like a tannish color. I thought about leaving him white, but then I looked at a couple llama pictures and I thought that this tan color was almost perfect. And then I just kind of went in with a darker and just shaded him. Since the yellow was such a small detail in the painting, I decided to do the background yellow and just tie it in with the sunflowers, and I think that he turned out so cute. This one is absolutely my favorite from the whole video. I love this llama. It's so cute. Thank you, Madison, for these emojis. So the next set of emojis that inspired me to pick off of Facebook was actually from Karen, and it was star, flower, and ladybug. So we're going to create an image out of that. Okay, so first of all, I started off with tracing my record and just getting a good circle, and then I just traced out the moon and the stars and a flower, and I put a ladybug on the flower and some of them flying towards the moon. I really was inspired by this because I like drawing like the night sky, and I thought it would be really fun to see ladybugs like flying around at night, because I feel like I only think about them during the day and you think about like fireflies and stuff at night. So I just thought that I could do that. So for the sky, let's just say that it starts out a little scary, a little iffy, and you're like, oh girl, you messed up, but no worries, it all gets fixed. So I started off with black, and I thought I could just ombre into like a navy dark blue, and so that the whole sky wasn't like black. I wanted it to be more like the moon was lighting it up a little bit or whatever. So yeah, I mean, you can tell that the blue I pick isn't as dark as you would want it to be to fade from that black and purple, but I kept having to just go over it and fix it and shade it, and voila, it turned out perfectly fine. And then I just went around with like my fine liner and just refined all the lines of the stars, because, you know, I kind of like went over the lines with the markers and stuff. And then I colored them in yellow, and I wanted to like do little swirls around them just to make them like they're glowing with the background, and I think that really set it apart. In retrospect, I guess I could have made the moon look like it was like shining down more on the flower, but I mean, I'm still really happy with how this turned out. I did the flower yellow inspired by the actual yellow flower emoji that Karen put. So it's not like a sunflower like in the llama one, but still super cute. And then I just put like red and green stuff underneath it, and this is how it turned out. I think that it's super cute, and I really like how it turned out. What do you think? The next set of emojis that really inspired me because of the image I created with the llama picture was from Cole, and it is fire, tiger and 4-leaf clover. So let's go make an image out of that. Okay, so I started off sketching this one kind of like with inspiration from the llama picture. Have the same feeling, like I was gonna put the 4-leaf clovers in the tiger's hair, and at first I thought about making him eat like with the fire emoji. I thought that it would be cute if he was like eating a bag of hot Cheetos or eating something spicy, just to kind of like pull inspiration from the llama. But I ended up thinking, and my friend gave me the idea of, what if it was at a concert holding up like a lighter? And so I thought that was the perfect idea. So I just sketched him out holding a lighter. And you know, after looking at this picture, I realized that the lighter is technically flipped the wrong way for his thumb to be able to light it. But you know what? Whatever. It's fine. I also gave him a flower crown with the 4-leaf clovers, which is very concert-y. And I gave him a fanny pack because those are very popular right now, especially if you're going to concerts. So I thought it was perfect. The best part is that the person that gave me these emojis actually loves going to concerts. It's one of his favorite things to do, so it even ties in there too. One of the most fun parts of doing the tiger was drawing all of his stripes. I actually don't have a tiger in my coloring book, but I could definitely add him now that I created a character. But adding all of these stripes was so much fun. Does anybody else think of the tiger from the cereal commercial? Because every time I think of tigers, I just think of him going, great! So at first I was like really intimidated by the only orange color that the Ohu markers have. It was very bright, and I just thought that I would love to have it as more of like, I don't know, I wanted a lighter orange to shade it with, but it didn't work out with that. It was like more of a yellow orange, and it doesn't fade right with this bright neon orange. So I ended up just coloring him all the way in with the neon orange, and then I just put a couple layers for shading because I didn't have like another option. It doesn't look that bad, honestly. It does, I mean, it is the color that a tiger should be, but I just think it's very bright, and if I had another color to shade it with that was a little bit lighter, I think I would have just enjoyed it a little bit more. For the background, I decided to do blue since it's a complementary color of orange. I almost did pink, but I'm really glad I didn't because the blue looks so good and it really stands out and like complements the piece, and I think pink could have got lost. And just like with the llama, I added a ribbon to just show that it's tied around his head, and I just matched the fanny pack to the ribbon. That way I didn't have too many colors getting lost in the painting. In the marker drawing. And since he's at a concert, I thought it would be funny if he was like whistling, so I added these music notes, and I don't know if this ruins it or not. I almost just put music notes in the background, but then I was like, this is just getting a little too much. Maybe I'm getting carried away, so I stopped myself. I tried to lighten the music notes with a gel marker, and it looked pretty bad, so I went back over it with my black marker, and I was like, stop, just stop, don't add more music notes, you're gonna ruin it. So hopefully the music notes didn't ruin it. It just looks like he's whistling or something or singing, but this is how it turned out. What do you think? So the next one that inspired me off of Facebook was actually from my mom, Jennifer, and she sent me flower, rainbow, and an umbrella with rain, and so now we're going to create an image out of that. Okay, so I accidentally forgot to press start on the camera when I started drawing this, so I have no footage of me tracing it, outlining it, or coloring in the umbrella, which really sucks, and I almost didn't include it in the video, but I was pretty proud of how it turned out, and I wanted y'all to see all of the images I did, even if I didn't like them, because that's just how art is sometimes. You're not going to love everything you create, and that's okay. As long as you're creating and you keep trying, you'll always get better. So I decided to add it in anyways, even though I didn't have all the footage. So basically my idea was to draw an umbrella that was like shading from the flowers. I wanted to look like the umbrella was like planted in with the flowers, and it was just like protecting the flowers from like a storm or something. And I ended up using the rainbow emoji just for the color palette of the rainbow. I mean, what? I ended up using the color palette, the rainbow emoji as the color palette for the umbrella. Goodness gracious, I cannot talk today. She put a pink flower as an emoji, so I just used a couple different shades of pink to really like fill in all the flowers. And then I just went with my fine liner and gave a bunch of little details and line work. And I think that it turned out really cute. I'm really proud of the umbrella, and I am sad that I don't have the footage of me drawing it because I think that it turned out so good and perfect. I'm really proud of the umbrella. And then as far as the rain in the emoji goes, I almost didn't put it because I didn't want to ruin it. But then at the last minute, I took out my ruler and just added a couple little spurts of rain as if it just started raining. I didn't want to put too many and like overload the painting, so I just put a couple at the top as if it just started raining. And yeah, that's how it turned out. What do you think? My favorite part is definitely the umbrella. I think that it's the best umbrella I've ever drawn. So the next one I got on Instagram was mermaid, spiderweb, and pumpkin. So we're going to create an image of that. Let's go. I definitely saved the worst for last. I'm not going to lie. This mermaid drawing stressed me out. I actually drew like 3 different ones, and this is the one that I'm going to show you guys because I hate the other 2. And I'm going to be honest, I don't love this one, but this is the best one that I could do. And like I said before, you're not always gonna create things that you love, and that's okay because as long as you keep going, you'll get better. So the best idea I could come up with, other than a headless mermaid with a jack-o'-lantern as a head, which didn't turn out good, was a mermaid swimming through this giant pumpkin underwater, and it just had like spider webs all over it, and it was just kind of like Halloween-esque, if you will. So that's what I sketched out. I definitely looked at mermaids on Pinterest to just kind of like make sure I was getting the shape right and stuff. Again, this is like the only orange that I have, but I decided to take like this golden color and that yellowy orange color and really like shade it in because I really didn't want the pumpkin to be bright orange. I thought that if it was underwater, it would probably be like a little gross and start decaying. And you know, I know that it's my image and I can have it how I want to, but I do overthink about things like that. So if this pumpkin jack-o'-lantern actually like fell in the ocean, I think that it would be a little gross and not as bright orange as a new pumpkin would be. So I definitely shaded it and made it more of like a muted, like dark brownish orange. Definitely, I think the thing that I don't like about this image the most is just how the mermaid's face and stuff turned out. I'm just not that good at people yet, but I'm definitely practicing, and so, you know, this is just going to show my progress, because one day maybe I'll be good and I can redo this image and make it look like so much better. So, as much as I didn't want to include this because I hated it, I'm going to include it because this is all about me being truthful about like where I'm at in art, and we can always look back whenever I get better. As far as a color palette for the freaking mermaid went, I wanted to go by the emoji and draw inspiration from that, but the other 3 images that I created that I hated, I did that and I didn't like the color palette. So instead, I drew inspiration from a Disney princess, Ariel, and I just did the colors that she does on her hair and her tail. And I decided that she didn't need a shell bra, that she could just be free because nobody likes a bra. And this is how it turned out. I don't like it. The pumpkin is actually not that bad, but the rest of it I'm not a big fan of. But here we are anyways. What do you think? Alright, that's going to be it for this video. I actually had so much fun creating these images, and even though some of them didn't turn out like perfect, I still think it was fun and it was like a fun challenge to try. So if you want me to do this again, definitely like this video so that I know that you liked it. And follow me on Instagram so that next time maybe we can just do Instagram and it can just be like my followers send me emojis or something like that. So just make sure you're following me on Instagram. I post videos every single Saturday and sometimes on Wednesdays, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next art video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Oh